Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted, man. What the fuck?
Welcome to episode 77 of the Topless Robot podcast. My name is Fuckbucks.
My name is also Fuckbucks.
Fuck Bucks.
Fuck Bucks.
All at the same time, we gotta harmonize this one.
Fuckbucks.
Fuckbucks.
Oh yeah, we need to start with you.
You always put me on the high end. I can't do that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's try it again.
Fuck Bucks.
That was terrible.
That was really bad.
That was bad. It was very bad.
Hey, I didn't lose mine.
No, you were fine. I was fine.
I was terrible.
You were fine.
I was terrible. I went
Yeah.
too
You were
high.
terrible.
I was really bad.
I'm going to send you some fuck bucks.
I went too high. I'm sorry.
So what the fuck happened this week? I have no
Oh,
agenda
actually,
this
I
episode.
don't think I existed this week.
We were going to have a guest this week. Unfortunately, their schedule made it so they could not make it.
Who was the guest?
Our guest was going to be, you remember the viral Pokemon post
That's
about
right.
the 16-year-old Charizard
oh, yeah.
that she had been. It was like a love letter to this Charizard that she has transferred from game to game for 16 years.
Yeah.
And now it has arthritis.
It's got Alzheimer's. It's forgotten what she looks like.
And it went
Forgot
viral.
all of its TMs. How tragic.
And it went viral.
Yeah. She was going
And
to be.
apparently she's a local comedian. And so I reached out to her. Her name is Courtney. And I reached out to her to be a guest on the podcast, and she was all about it. But messaged me this morning, and she had another priority thing that
It's like,
she
hey,
forgot
man,
that
I
she had
watched
scheduled.
the first 5 minutes of one of your podcasts, and I gotta say, I can't make it anymore.
I sent her a playlist when I asked her to be on. I was like, here's what we're about. Here's whatever, check it out and whatever. And she said yeah. So
She's going to come back next week.
she can't. So it'll probably be a few weeks, but we'll have her on eventually.
Hell yeah.
Radical.
We have to make sure that we wear a bunch of Digimon stuff.
No, I especially want to talk to her about the speaking from the point of view of
My favorite Charmander evolution is Agumon.
but speaking from the point of view of someone who has actively transferred character, from game to game, how she reacted when Sword and Shield came out, and they were like, "No, we can't. You can't transfer from other games. You can't do any of that." Just getting that point of view, because it's something that I never really understood. Oh. But if you're that invested in something that you've transferred from game to game for 16 years, like, I could see getting a little upset and not being able to continue that journey.
Well, I want to transfer my 6 level 100 Snorlaxes and all of Hyper Beam.
I understand the heartbreak too, as somebody who literally played Carl Weathers in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. When Andromeda came out, it wasn't quite the same. I lost my boy. He's gone forever.
He's in the cloud, Dan. He's in the cloud. And in your heart.
The Black Abyss.
So Castlevania Season 3 has been released.
I haven't started.
I have not watched it yet.
And so I have finally started watching Castlevania.
I need to watch the 3rd season.
I heard the 3rd season's got psychedelic horror.
Yes, we
feel like
have brought that up
talked
for
about
the
this.
last
We
couple
have,
weeks.
yeah.
Too sweet. What if we should definitely do a podcast sometime where we just completely do everything exactly the same as the previous podcast and just like freak people out and like, hold on, did I see this one already?
April 1st is coming.
Oh
It
my
is.
God.
It is.
That'd be
The other Castlevania related thing, which I found really fucking weird, is Symphony of the Night is now on mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I suspect that it might have to do with whatever they're going to do with the next season of Castlevania. Because I feel like they've milked everything they can out of Trevor Trevor
Yeah.
Belmont. And so if they're going to get to Symphony of the Night, which is what everyone really wants the show to be about, even though the show's fantastic as it is, you have to go through Simon Belmont, which I'm sure could probably just be a season.
Sure.
Is just, oh, look, it's Simon Belmont going and kicking ass. He doesn't have any characters that he teams up with at all. It's just him versus Dracula. You could do a season of that, and then you can move on to Richter and the Symphony of the Night stuff.
Yeah.
I really hope they do that.
And Richter is the best.
Richter
so.
is my favorite headbanded edgelord.
Yes.
The version that made it to mobile is not the original voice acting.
Oh, is
It's
it
the
good?
remastered voice acting.
Is it good?
It's hard to say good.
Is it better?
It's better, yes.
But is it better in a
But
way that's
not-
meaningful because it's not funny
It's-
anymore?
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
The comedy is the only thing that made it worth it.
It's better, but disappointing.
It either has to be.
You steal men's souls.
Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
Scream.
But it plays beautifully and it looks great. And it made me kind of realize.
Okay, but how are you gonna do the fucking spell inputs on your mobile device?
I use a controller
Oh, okay.
because I've got
yeah.
2 claws for the controllers. Otherwise, I tried playing it with just the virtual controls, the on-screen controls. Fuck that shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's stupid.
that is
Yeah, that
what
would
I
be-
thought.
Fuck it hard, fuck it.
Good.
It's terrible.
That is-
It's absolutely impossible to be fluid because you're having to. I mean,
Your
I'm
thumbs
sure.
are covering like the best parts of the screen.
Well, and I'm sure that through practice, muscle memory will get you there, but it's garbage.
Yeah, and I don't want to practice a new control setup. It's
garbage that kills for
I'll
money.
just play regular Symphony
Yeah.
of the Night.
But it made me want to see them do a remake of Symphony of the Night with fully hand-drawn 60 frame animation. Like
That will
sprites.
literally never happen.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
because
Konami's not invested in
Yeah.
any of their properties anymore.
Konami is currently being run by a madman.
That's actually kind of why I was surprised to see Symphony of the Night release on mobile because Konami has made it clear that they're not focused on gameplay.
Yeah, well,
Can you
Are there
buy items?
microtransactions?
No.
that didn't require a significant amount of effort from them. Like they're not
just
going to
ported it.
develop any more video
Well, it's
games.
not. It's probably not even. Well, so it probably is a port because the menus are different.
Okay.
Maybe
The menus
runs on a
feel
stock
like
emulator they
the
have.
menus in a mobile app.
I bet they outsourced the hell out of that. It's a third
Oh,
party.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're just in it for the advertising bucks.
The only
I was
thing
gonna
they're
say-
there to make is pachinko machines.
Yes.
With all of our beloved properties.
That's what we want, right?
But-
we just want.
I mean,
more
if we were
silent-
Japanese, we probably would because they fucking love pachinko.
Don't
Also,
They're rolling in the
Konami
fuck
doesn't
bucks.
give a shit what we want
That's true.
because pachinko's making the money.
Yeah, they can go flip.
Gambling, dude. Gambling will make money no matter where you do it.
Yeah,
People fucking love gambling.
it's frustrating.
I mean, I like gambling myself. But
I would love to see Silent Hills. I would love to see. I would love to see this Silent Hill series continue. I would love to see more Castlevania titles. In fact, I just recently jumped on eBay and bought Portrait of Ruin for the DS and Order of Ecclesia. So there were 3 Castlevania games that came out on DS. There was Dawn of Sorrow, which was a continuation of Harmony of Dissonance or Aria of Sorrow? No, Aria of Sorrow from the Game Boy Advance.
Pull up the Castlevania title flowchart.
Where you play,
Roll out the whiteboard here.
where you play Soma, who gets, when you kill an enemy, you have a chance to absorb their soul, and then you can equip those souls.
Like Axel.
And Portrait of Ruin is totally different. It takes place during World War II. And Order of Ecclesia I can't remember because it's the only Castlevania game I haven't beaten.
Dude, so the one takes place in World War II. Do you just straight get a gat? Like, do you get to gat people? God damn it.
But
Magic Gat?
interestingly, you play 2 characters, and you can swap between those 2 characters whenever you want. You can have both of them out at the same time. One of them is magic, centric, and one of them is supposed to be the
stand-in Belmont.
well, he's supposed to be descended from the Belmonts, and he has Vampire Killer, but he can't get Vampire Killer to work for him.
Oh.
So
It's like that Dragon Quest movie.
Yeah. But there are puzzles that require you to use both characters at the same time. So some things are too heavy to push with one character, so you can start pushing and then bring in the other character and they automatically start pushing as well. Her weapons are all books. And so like
Sounds like my kind
So
of
knowledge
weapons.
is power.
she starts out with an encyclopedia, which does shit all. She just does this.
Do you get,
But then
do you get to
book
beat monsters
knuckles.
with the Bible and light them on fire? Like,
But then you then you pick up like a book that's like about military arms or something, and she does that, and a sword comes out of the book.
Oh, okay.
And
like those books in the library in Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
That's probably cool.
And
You say the pen is my
then
blade
you
on the
get
sword.
one that is just Don Quixote. And a full like half of a horse comes out of the book when she attacks. It's a very neat touch.
very interesting.
And
A horse comes out.
yeah, Don
yeah,
Quixote.
because it's Don Quixote.
Oh, duh.
I'm sorry, Don Quixote.
Yes.
The other interesting thing that this does is like
Quixote.
while the central like area is Dracula's castle,
Pedant.
it's not being brought into being by Dracula. It's a different vampire named Bronner,
Oh, yes. of course.
and
Browner.
he's using these portraits, these paintings, to harness the power of the castle. And so you have to go into each painting,
So it's just like Mario.
which goes to a different place.
Is there a mushroom
like,
world? I hope there's a mushroom world.
So they go to different places and you ruin them.
yeah, you go and you beat the boss in order to diminish the power from that painting.
I feel like there was a stage from that one in Harmony of Dissonance.
the online
which I
multiplayer one.
really want them to fucking port over to the PS4 because I have it
not
on the
gonna
PS3. I have it, and I got the DLC with Simon Belmont, and it's great because he's the 8-bit sprite.
Nice.
And the best part is that he's shorter than all the characters. So most of the
He's a manlet.
Yeah.
most of the projectiles and stuff like that like will like sail right over his head, and he's more powerful than anyone else. So I just fucking burn through the game like that. It's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that would make sense because Harmony of Dissonance was just a mashup of all the generations.
Yeah. There was a stage where you warped around with there was also a boss that was an artist of some kind. It was very annoying. I hated it.
One of these days, I'll actually play through.
Dude, everything.
Wait, you haven't played through a Castlevania game?
Never played
Every
through it.
Castlevania game that is not a 3D Castlevania game that came out after Symphony of the Night is outstanding.
I need to do.
And
I will.
Rondo of Blood is pretty good
Wait.
as a transitional game.
When did Castlevania 64 come out?
After Symphony of the Night. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because you can't make that stipulation. If
No,
Good.
That's why I said
Okay.
that's not a 3D Castlevania.
Because even Lords of Shadow gets
Lords of
very
Shadows,
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there have been a few takes on the 3D. I can't remember if the most recent one was Lords of Shadow.
Lords of Shadow is the one that Kojima did because he did Lords of Shadow and then Lords of Shadow 2, and in the middle you have
Which is the one that has fucking
Gabriel?
that has Captain Picard's
Lords of Shadow.
Lords of Shadow. That wasn't even a Castlevania game when it was in development.
Yeah, it was something
They
else. and
slapped
they're
on a
like,
Castlevania title.
He's a Belmont now. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't branded as a Castlevania game, then I think I would probably have enjoyed it a little more because I honestly just got bored. Like
Yeah.
there are sometimes like when you play Symphony of the Night for the first time and you get kind of stuck in some places, it gets a little boring until you figure out what you're supposed to do.
Sure.
And then it's just like, oh shit, okay. And then there's a whole other area where Lords of Shadow is a little too linear for my liking.
Yeah.
And the protagonist cries a lot.
I'm sorry you're too tough to be in touch with your emotions, bro.
No, I am.
Ryan can't be
My
deadly
emotions
too,
are my
okay?
weapons. but I wish that Gabriel Belmont would have used his as weapons instead of just like, my wife is dead. My wife is dead, and now I'm gonna be Dracula.
Yeah.
I want you to
don't
just
be a
talk like that
pedant.
for the rest of this podcast. But
My wife is dead. My wife is dead.
Final Fantasy VII, the
demo.
Oh yeah, that's right. The
Demo
demo
dropped.
came out in the past week. I immediately I saw the news that morning and posted about it, and then went, oh shit, now I have to go to work. So I wore my Final Fantasy VII shirt and just
With the holes
sat
cut out
at
for your
work.
nipples.
And you just walk around work all day with
No, his
like a
nipples
red
cut.
face from crying. It's like, Ryan, are you okay? No. Want to play Final Fantasy?
Why can you go and do this thing? No, I want to play Final Fantasy.
I don't want to be here. I want to be in Midgar.
First off, no one asks me to do anything at
Nice.
work. Like I have projects that, and then mostly I'm just left alone. So fortunately, I don't actually have to be talked to for most of the time.
Oh, that's good.
So then who can you throw temper tantrums to?
Exactly.
Emails.
Myself.
Emails.
Just goes to the bathroom and looks at himself in the mirror.
No, even better. He turns off his work monitor so he can see his reflection and just go,
I don't want to work. I want to play Final Fantasy.
Every email you sent that day was passive aggressive about the fact that you wanted to. As per my last email, I do not wish to type another because I could be at home playing Final Fantasy
if I have to
VII.
repeat myself one more time, I will get my model buster sword and literally cut you in half.
Nothing personal, kiddo.
While you were working, I was studying the Buster Sword.
Am I the only one who's played it?
I did not play.
I've intentionally decided not to.
Okay.
I am gonna wait to be just absorbed in the because I think I'm gonna buy it when like the week it comes out.
Yeah.
I must.
I can say that I went through that entire demo with goosebumps the entire time.
I don't want to be limited by the demo. That's why I'm waiting.
I wanted to feel the battle, scheme and
Well, guess what? You're going to be limited by the staggered chapter releases.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna spend a lot of time in awe of the game.
Yeah.
Because
And they've added a whole lot.
Yeah,
to
the
make
chapter
Midgar
releases
a
are all
lot.
going to be like 20 hours.
I want to play a golden
More than
saucer.
Than that,
More
yeah.
than that, yeah.
They're full games was my
Because the original Final Fantasy VII was about 90 hours of gameplay.
How many chapters are they doing? Is it 3 or 6?
It was however many discs
sure.
there were.
There were 3 discs.
I just want Barrett to get a standalone game so I can just play as Barrett.
It has been confirmed that Red 13 is not playable in this first game. Because you encounter him at the end of the game. He's in it.
Yeah.
You just don't get to play as him.
Yeah, because you get him once you're done escaping. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So
Since this
spoilers
all takes place in Midgar,
Yeah.
it's probably going to take you right up to that point, and then
and dramatically leave us off waiting for the next chapter to start with
Yeah.
the chase or something like that.
I wonder how
Boo!
quick they'll release the chapters. I'm assuming they finished they'll have finished the entire thing and just release it
I
staggered.
doubt that.
You don't
very
think
much.
so?
Am I gonna have to
Fuck no.
pay for each chapter?
Yeah, do you realize which company you're
Yeah, fuck you.
talking
Yeah,
about
you're
right now?
Also,
Like,
never mind that. Like the amount of so they've had to restart development twice, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So the amount of time that the game that we're getting has been in active development. We're talking about these being full games. These aren't episodic titles like a Telltale series or something like that. So
I wonder how long in between will it be, like a year, or are we going to see this drag on to the next 10?
it's I can't remember the name of the dude, but the creative director has said that he is committed to spending the rest of his life working on this.
Holy shit.
I would.
Well, I don't have
would,
the rest of his life.
I would suspect that you might have to wait anywhere between 5 and 15 years to get all of this. Yeah.
Probably something like that.
Great.
That's why, it feels great not to be a Final Fantasy fan right now.
Because I mean, think about it. That would mean they've already confirmed that this first one is not coming out on PS5.
Okay.
So it means that I'm gonna have to buy the PS5 in order to get the next chapter.
Yes.
Most likely.
Well, then maybe I'll just hold off on buying the first chapter until. I don't know. You see, now I'm in conflict because I was assuming that it was going to be like, it's like, okay, so the next chapter will come out. We'll have like a hard date or something like that.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the game, it's like, okay, next spring or something like that. It's like, okay, I can make my decision and be okay with that instead of like having to wait around for news from the front about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's who knows.
Don't be optimistic. I know, shocker. I'm saying that, but
Yeah,
really,
yeah, right.
Honestly, that's
when it comes to Square's development times, don't be optimistic.
That's how I go about life anyway. You keep your expectations low.
Yes.
You're never disappointed.
So,
But you loved it though.
I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great. The music, everything about it. It was
Yeah,
just
I'm excited.
I saw it get beaten like 4 or 5 times over the weekend at the bar. So
sure.
even if I didn't play it, I already know all the beats and what it looks like. So
It looks gorgeous. And someone posted a meme that was a side-by-side comparison of Cloud rendered in Advent Children next to Cloud real-time rendered in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And they're like identical.
yep.
And it's insane to think about that.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Shilly shally dilly dally.
Ugh. It got old 15 episodes ago.
Yes, it did.
The fighting feels good, and the specializations for each character feel good too. And being able to switch between each character feels good.
The limit are limit breaks like hyper dramatic.
They look great.
Hell yeah.
But they're not full on like cutscenes like they were. Which
I mean, after a while, that gets
Yeah, it
old.
does.
But like it'd be cool if it was like an option you can like turn it off.
Is it fully voice acted?
yes.
Okay.
How long's the demo?
Oh, I don't know, maybe an hour.
How on point Action Black Man is Barrett's voice?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Action Jackson.
Yeah. That's what it needs to be.
And throughout the demo, he keeps calling Cloud Stamp as like a derogatory term, which
Like cock
apparently
stamp.
No, just stamp.
Oh.
Which apparently is reference to there are posters around for some military thing called Stamp, and it's like basically I can't remember what the full explanation.
Special Tactical Airborne Military Parade.
Nailed it.
I'm
I'm
but
sure
it
that's
is meant
exactly
to be like you're just a face, like you're you're nothing, fuck you, you know, kind of thing. You're just another military dog, kind of shit.
Tell him, brother.
Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it, and I cannot wait for my first class edition to show up at my doorstep.
Yeah, I'm excited to see all the stuff you're getting with that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
The Hardy Daytona. Yeah, it'll be rad.
You're gonna have to do an unboxing for that one.
Yeah, probably.
You have to make the motorcycle noises yourself though when you push it around.
No, I'm gonna be playing the fucking chase music in my head.
You have to dub you doing that over the unboxing.
So it seems like we're probably not going to have any conventions this year.
Yes, I was going to bring this up.
South by Southwest is done.
E3's in danger. I don't think it's officially
E3
closed.
has not canceled yet.
But it is.
anyone
The
gonna
ESA
go?
has decided to go forward with E3. Like
Really?
they've said that it's going forward. But I can tell you, none of the fucking companies like that support a move like that are going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So ESA is notorious for making bad decisions. So it's not surprising to me that they're like, No, coronavirus. Fuck coronavirus. We're just gonna
Money.
Yeah.
They might see it as a last gasp effort to keep this thing fucking going.
If they go through with it, I can guarantee you there's not going to be an E3 next year,
Most likely not.
or possibly ever again in the future.
I'm surprised that it's like
Yeah, it's already in his death
it's already
throes.
gonna die.
Yeah.
What this sounds like to me is desperation to stay relevant.
Yeah.
And get like, okay, no news is, or all press is good press kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just sounds like they're just trying to be like, hey, look, we're here. If we don't have a convention, we're just going to disappear anyway. So might as well try to do it one more time.
On one hand, I understand why everyone would want to cancel, a large event with people, that are all going to be in one spot, coughing and hacking up on each other. But I feel like that's smart with big events like if San Diego Comic-Con gets shut down because of that I will 100% understand that. But I
Emerald
also
City is canceled.
Dragon Con will probably get canceled this year.
So here's the list. Last updated March 6th. Google I/O is canceled. South by Southwest is canceled. Microsoft Build is not. Queen and Adam Lambert concert is on the verge of cancellation.
Oh no.
WWDC is not. 2020 Olympics are not yet, but Japan has set a deadline of May to make the decision as to whether the Olympics are on or not.
Yeah.
TED conference is up for possibly. GDC is canceled. Coachella, sadly, no. E3 is at risk. Google Reader is canceled. PAX West is not. Seattle Comic-Con is. San Diego Comic-Con is not. Microsoft Ignite is at risk. Free samples at Costco are canceled.
Oh man.
What?
So I was at Costco on Monday afternoon, because I have Mondays off and that's when I like to do my shopping. And I'm in line getting my brother added to my membership, and there's just this endless parade of old people coming, pushing carts out the door. And I'm talking to the membership guy, and I'm like, hey, like, is it always this busy on Mondays or what? He's like, no, old people are panicking because of coronavirus. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, boomer.
One man's panic is another's profit.
TwitchCon Amsterdam is canceled. TwitchCon San Diego is not. Adobe Summit is canceled. Facebook F8 is canceled. Mobile World Congress is canceled. Code for America Summit is canceled. Handshakes are canceled.
Everything is canceled.
Hugs are at risk of being canceled. Fist bumps, they're not canceled.
Uggs are canceled.
Just do
Disney Plus launch event is canceled. Gen Con is not canceled.
I haven't heard of over half of these things in my life.
I've heard of a lot of them.
Like hugs? What?
No, like hugs. Hugs.
Yeah.
As in,
What?
He doesn't know what the
a tender
sorry.
embrace.
Sorry, you've never never been hugged. have you?
Tender?
If
You
you,
want
want
chicken
to
tenders?
keep up with the full list of canceled things, head over to isitcancelledyet.com.
This stuff is crazy. I mean,
Specifically with regards to
Oh, is Half-Life 3 canceled now because of Corona?
Half-Life 3 got canceled a
Wouldn't that
long
be-
time ago.
wouldn't that be fantastic if fucking Steam put that out like an article?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, guys, we had to cancel Half-Life 3. The internet would
specifically-
explode.
specifically things like E3, I wouldn't really mind anyway. This path that a lot of video game companies have been taking, where they're just doing their solo directs.
Yeah.
like this is what we're doing,
And
we
that-
don't need to go to a trade show to show this to
Way
you.
more cost effective for the companies.
Yep.
And way better way of delivering that information to us.
I vastly prefer that. So
Don't have
if
to
that's
listen to
if
the
that's what
fake-
these companies have to shift towards doing
And
anyway,
then, like,
do it.
if they want to still do those like schedule only behind closed doors demos and things like that for select members of the press, they can still send out those invites and fly them out and probably save money.
Yeah, it would definitely save them money over bringing an entire entourage to a trade show.
And having to make a big ol' to-do about it, too.
Yeah.
And
Like that one fucking year, 2
Fuck-
years ago,
fucking-
whatever.
fucking
God.
Sony's. What was the dude who played the
The flute.
The flute,
Yeah.
and
Hey, that was great.
Oh, for Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah,
But that game's gonna rule.
And the banjo or the whatever for Last of
For
Us.
Last of Us 2.
Speaking of Last of Us, HBO is
Yes.
doing a Last of Us series. I think it's interesting enough subject matter, and HBO's got a solid enough track record of doing original content.
There are enough cutscenes for them to copy paste as well.
Yeah.
God, they could even just get the voice actors who played.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Just have them in the show.
I think that could actually be very good.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I don't think it's going to suck
Yeah.
unless they Walking Dead it, and in case it will suck. Because it
Walking Dead got
it toes the line with that kind of bad guy. I don't say bad guy, but like environmental threat.
Yeah, conflict entity.
Yeah, conflict entity. It's like, oh look, well these are different because they're mushrooms.
Yeah, they're not zombies because they're plants.
They're keto zombies.
No, there's not enough fat in those, you know.
Yeah, but there's no carbohydrates in
That's true.
mushrooms.
I think it'll be interesting. I'm kind of bummed that the first Naughty Dog property that we see media from, like, you know, popular media made out of is The Last of Us and not Uncharted.
I feel like Uncharted would make more fun movies than a TV show.
Well, Uncharted's been like off and on, like
They've talked about it forever.
Yeah, they in development for the movie, but it just.
Unfortunately, now I think Nathan Fillion's too old for it, but I would have loved to see Nathan Fillion play Nathan Drake.
I heard that Tom Holland was playing Nathan Drake.
Like they're doing like a young.
Oh, like the Adventures of Young Indiana Jones kind of
Because like in
And
Uncharted
who's gonna
3,
play Donut Drake?
in Uncharted 3 they do flashback
Nathan
to,
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito is always the answer.
in Uncharted 3 they do like a flashback to his childhood and like how he met Sully and all that.
Oh,
kind of
okay,
shit.
okay.
I think they're doing kind of like an origin story.
Is it a movie or a show? Or?
It's a movie, I think.
Oh, I didn't hear about this. I guess.
Trying to think of get John Krasinski to
John
be
Krasinski. Ooh, I can see
to
it.
bulk him up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'd have to get him swole.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's
is-
Hollywood. You can give him 6 months.
John Krasinski is swole right now because of the.
I'm in Jack
He's in,
Ryan. Jack Ryan.
Yeah, Jack
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah,
He got big for that.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I don't know, man. No one pulls off that cocky like wittiness that Nathan Fillion does.
What if you got why is his name escaping me right now? Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, what if you got Chris Pratt to do it?
I guess I could see that.
I'd be okay with that. There was that Nathan Fillion. Did you see the fan produced video where it was like of Uncharted and Nathan Fillion was in it and like it was fucking awesome. It was like a couple years back and it was really cool. It was like
We'll make terrible OC for
what
Cass.
could have been. He's
Yeah.
been too old.
It's Nathan Fillion's one of his handles. We'll do bit work for cash.
Speaking of also further stuff from that from that E3, we got a official release date for Ghost of Tsushima.
Did we?
I didn't catch
June
that.
26th.
Then June 26th, I will study the blade.
Boy, we about to do it.
Yeah.
I am pumped about that game.
Excited for this game. It looks
real
so
good. It looks
God, I really hope it's not terrible. That's really all
Right.
I'm concerned about.
Well,
Because like going that hard with that flute player, and and how beautiful it looks.
it's a Sony studio production, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Like Sony's exclusives
Are
really good.
Until
They've
now,
got an incredible track record of
yeah.
outstanding exclusives.
There's
Yeah,
a reason that Bloodborne was better than the Dark Souls games.
I'm not like
Because they reined in From Software's insanity.
And fuck, God of War. Horizon Zero Dawn, the Wipeout series is my favorite.
Man,
racing
Wipeout
series
is
of all
so
time.
rad.
Great.
First time I played that in VR, I almost got sick.
Yeah, it was at my old
Yeah.
house. But yeah, I have very high hopes.
Oh my god. I just remembered something that's
Go on.
right now. No, because I've been thinking
this
about
is
buying
very
Ace Combat. I think I'm gonna wait until I can get a VR headset to play that because aircraft simulators.
You could probably find a PSVR headset online, like used for relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, I just need to do it. I have too many games to catch up on first.
Like Bloodborne.
Yes, like Bloodborne. Exactly right.
And shit, you can get Bloodborne for super cheap.
Yeah, you can get Bloodborne for like under $10 now, I think. Or about that.
Play it.
So many games to play right now. Still playing Star Wars.
You're still playing Fallen Order?
Star Wars.
It's so
It's
good.
a good game.
It's so good.
It's a good game.
That's a good game.
That's choice cuts.
Racist.
Oh shit! God damn it! Why did that have to get ruined?
Flashing the white power symbol on.
Are you wearing the One Ring?
Yes.
Fucking nerd. You know, you're not invisible. We can still kick your ass.
I just want to be invisible, okay?
Oh my God. I'm just picturing a junior high school version of you.
This way they won't laugh at me.
I just need a safe place to hide. Well,
So-
you know what?
Back in the days when I had my books constantly knocked out of my hands.
You would put the ring on, and Chad would be like, "I'll make you invisible," and he stuffed you in a locker.
Dumped you in a garbage can in the lunchroom.
Goddamn Chad.
Chadrick of
So
Northbury.
this past week we did see the loss of Mr. James Lipton.
Yeah.
Inside
Like the tea guy, right?
the Inside the Actors Studio host, who he's a great interviewer. Always had really, really great interviews with people
Wait, you don't
inside the
watch-
Actors Studio.
You don't watch a documentary show about a guy interviewing movie actors? Never?
No.
You dullard.
I thought because I'm such a great movie fan.
Yes, I am quite the film aficionado.
But I think he was.
Prefers to not be influenced by opinions other than his own.
Oh,
I didn't realize
Because they're all worse.
I didn't realize how old he was.
Neither did I, because
He's like 91. Wasn't
yeah, I just thought he just like got to a certain age and just stayed there.
he never.
Yeah.
He's
Kind of like how your dad's always like 34.
he? Yeah. Oh, he was 93.
Oh.
So yeah,
he was.
Well, he certainly took his time.
lived a full life. But great interviewer, really great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Something I will
They were
never ever be.
still doing. Oh. He was still doing Inside the Actors Studio.
Yeah.
Pretty much like right up till when he died, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The bane of TCM.
Yeah. Turner classic movies.
I love TCM.
You would.
Yes, I would.
I watched Altered Carbon, season 1.
Oh, so you finally
I dove in.
pretty good, right?
It's incredible. For anyone who has not watched Altered Carbon, you need to watch Altered Carbon. It is really fucking good.
Why don't you make me?
No. I don't know. With Altered
will.
Carbon, it doesn't really sound like a very organic television show.
One of the characters is an AI who is Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
I've seen the first season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen
have
the
you?
first
Oh.
season, Yeah.
You'll be happy to know that AI stays with him in season 2.
I would hope
That makes me so
I would
happy.
hope so.
I love that
but
he's
he is
Edgar Allan
suffering.
Poe.
He is suffering memory problems. But
Have you started season 2 then?
oh yeah,
Okay.
Does the
Edgar
AI
Allan-
just play the sounds of it coughing up blood?
Edgar Allan? Whoa.
Whoa!
the actor does a great job. It's seriously one of my favorite characters in that series.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Made of plastic.
I love sci-fi that questions identity and self. Like that's one of my favorite things. Favorite sci-fi tropey storylines that questioning what it means to be you.
Yeah.
Which is like
Dan?
Fucking great. It's that the entire show, and I just love it so much.
And it allows them to have different actors play the same character. So in season 2, it's not the same actor playing.
Yeah, it's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Of the Falcon fame.
Yeah. It's Anthony Mackie playing Tech.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start season 2.
It's really good. I'm about halfway through season 2. I've been enjoying it so far. Season 1 was great. Absolutely great.
You know what I went searching for in forgotten media catacombs this week? The original Iron Chef. Did you guys ever watch that?
The original Iron Chef?
Yeah, like the old Iron Chef, like the dubbed one.
No, I've never seen that.
Oh man, sometime I'm gonna have to. I'll send you guys a link to it. It is the most insane dramatic show. It's like, because I was watching some today before I got here, and I was like, this is just an anime.
my Iron Chef.
Yeah, I mean, everyone like. If there's ever any surprise about how over the top cooking animes are, it's because they have a real life influence.
Yeah,
and it was Iron Chef.
Like the host is basically the bad guy from Enter the Dragon, but food. Like he's like always wearing those black leather gloves and those crazy like Nero jackets.
I think I've seen some footage.
Yeah, and he's like bites into a fucking bell pepper at the beginning of every episode. He's like with this army of like faceless people in chef's coats and dumb hats.
Oh, Japan.
Oh, it's so fucking rad.
My main exposure to Iron Chef is just the episode of Futurama.
Oh yeah,
Iron Chef.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
they have to. This week's ingredient is Soylent Green.
This is beautiful. This is a beautiful human being, and I need to see this now.
Yeah. Well, shit, dog. If you got time after this,
I need to see this. I've seen American Iron Chef.
It's not the same.
No,
I mean,
of course it's not.
It's good.
It won't be as insane.
It's good because at the core of it.
Flay.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that first Iron Chef, the Japanese Iron Chef, where Bobby Flay showed up. And he was like super young and like being very disrespectful, and he got his ass whipped.
Would you say he was flayed
No,
or filleted? I'm on a roll.
Has the toddler finished muling yet?
Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a while. Does I remember every bit of this?
I mean, he already knew it was going to happen, so he had to just get it in while he could.
Yeah. But that made his punishment.
At least he's wearing his shame goggles.
God damn it. It's been so long since I've been sprayed.
Oh, God.
Like, I can't even remember the last time. That one felt like nostalgia.
See, he's adapting to the punishment too well now.
Feel like nostalgia and taste like coronavirus? Because that water's been sitting in a household where sicknesses have just been rotating.
If you give me the coronavirus, I'm going to slap you.
Oh, are you?
Yes. Well, one of my buddies, actually, speaking of coronavirus, well, you guys know Will. He went to Italy, and it was like,
yeah, now they're quarantining all of northern Italy.
Yeah, entirety of northern. He was in Rome, so fortunately, but he was supposed to go to Milan and
darling,
and see a soccer game, but they canceled the soccer games, and like he had to basically just completely like cancel his trip up north in northern Italy and just stay in Rome the entire time.
Northern Italy is fully cordoned off at this point.
And he came back yesterday and found out, because he works for a hospital, he found out he's not allowed to go into work for the next 2 weeks because he came back from Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, they just had another case in Scottsdale this week,
and all of the first responders are being quarantined.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's something to be concerned about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not quite this level of Costco panic.
So there's something that I hate about this. and it's on either side of the spectrum. Right, there's the media going absolutely insane about, oh God, it's panic. Oh geez, it's the end times.
And then the government's going, there's literally no problem here.
Yeah.
Literally, not.
Then there's also the side of the spectrum of the thinking bad, who is like, when they throw out the flu kills 18,000 people a year, and just listing off all the statistics versus the flu. Yeah, believe it or not, coronavirus has a higher mortality rate than the flu, because mortality rate is based on death versus infection. So mortality rate of coronavirus is 2%. Do you know how many people get the flu every single year? 18,000, and that might be a number that I'm pulling out of my ass.
Right.
I can't remember off the top of my head. But that is a small fraction of the number of people who actually contract the virus.
Absolutely.
So coronavirus has a higher rate of death to infection. And it is definitely something that we should be worried about. But it's not something that we should be fucking running down to buy out Costco.
And just shoving your arm into the shelf and filling your cart up with hand sanitizer.
Oh, God, yeah. Seattle was out of hand sanitizer this week.
When I went to the gas station on the way here, there were these plastic little squares, couldn't have been more than 3x2, with a small portion of hand sanitizer in them. And they had them laid out all over the counter near the registers.
That's just capitalism at work.
Absolutely.
Predatory spending.
Tub of hand sanitizer here, if anyone would like to partake.
No thanks. I don't need to create super germs.
That's not what hand sanitizer does.
I know.
Antibacterials do, but
Let me shed post and peace.
Super virus.
They closed UW, like University of Washington, today.
In the United States, technically the mortality rate for coronavirus is at 5%, solely because 14 people died in a fucking Seattle nursing home.
Yeah, of course.
The great culling of the elderly is upon us.
I mean, if there's anything coronavirus is going to do, it's going to kill a lot of old people.
Coronavirus is the ultimate okay boomer.
Now, would you speculate that the coronavirus will affect the election this coming year? I swear to God that's probably something that someone is saying right now.
Yeah, and you know what? It will.
Yes, it will.
It absolutely
because those old people won't want to leave their homes or to even touch the mail.
Yeah, the at-risk ages are 45 and up, and
so you're at risk.
And
Zing!
It's
Pachow!
That's the podcast, everybody.
older than 45 and young children and the immunocompromised, as with pretty much any variation of the coronavirus, which is the flu and SARS and bird flu, which, by the way, now...
Is it back?
Bird flu's back in China.
Yeah, that
so
surprise me.
Now on top of this COVID-19 outbreak, they have the bird flu outbreak in China happening right now.
Well, it serves them.
But I thought China was the greatest nation in the world.
There was no massacre at Tiananmen Square.
There was no massacre in Tiananmen Square.
There was no massacre in Tiananmen Square.
Their glorious Winnie the Pooh leader says everything is fine.
God.
Everything is fine at his palace. Yes, of course.
Yep.
Yes, of course. The illness will never touch him there. Although I've read Mask of the Red Death, and I know that.
Yeah. Although, just because the rich people lock themselves inside doesn't mean they won't catch the Red Death.
He just looks out at his infected population and goes, oh, bother.
And just like that, we're banned in China again.
That happened a long time ago.
That was a decent Jim Cummings.
That was really good. They unbanned us and then they banned us again. Just to
Bando Calrissian.
Speaking of Jim Cummings, not to crush anyone's view of Jim Cummings, he is a legendary voice actor. Also, apparently extremely conservative.
Aw.
Gross.
Yeah, it bums me out.
Well, I mean, he was
so
Dr.
probably-
Robotnik.
Yeah, that's right. He was Robotnik.
And I mean, Robotnik could
so many people.
build a robot like Winnie the Pooh. So to infect 100-acre wood with his conservative ideology.
Yeah, geez, he's Pooh and Tigger. And
Isn't he Eeyore?
he wouldn't be Eeyore.
No, Pharrell is Eeyore.
He's Darkwing Duck, and
Yeah, he's a lot of people.
Yeah, he is a lot of characters. And if you listen for very specific distinctions, you'll be able to pick it out immediately. It's the same as like if you hear Billy West's voice in enough variations, you can pick him out real easy.
Yeah, Billy West. Most of the voice actors that I'm familiar with, I can pick out of a crowd.
Yeah. I think the only one who has the ability to throw me for a loop is Maurice LaMarche. Because
Remind me of.
so he's Brain.
Yeah.
He's Calculon. He has such a range that there are areas of his range that will end up. I'll be like,
You mean Orson Welles?
yes. Yeah. But yeah, coronavirus.
Coronavirus scary.
Coronavirus.
Wash your hands, fuckers.
Wash
Yeah.
your hands and don't use this as an excuse to be racist.
Please.
Yeah. Wash your hands. I am realizing how difficult it is to not touch my face. It's ham bone.
Ham boning will save your life.
Your move, coronavirus.
Like, they're saying, wash your hands, don't touch your face, things like that. And I'm like, I don't know how to not do that.
I sit and my hands like this or
Right.
my temples.
Like, and
all of my acne scars just follow where my hands have been my whole life.
I do this a lot.
Yeah.
And I have psoriasis on my eyebrows. So I end up,
Cerebrows.
I end up scratching my eyebrows a lot, and allergies, so I scratch my eyes, and it's like, fuck.
Here's a solution: get those like white kid gloves, and that gives you an excuse to also get those premium unlubricated single-use monocles.
Why are the gloves only for white kids?
No, they are called kid gloves.
Oh,
When someone says,
wait, Mickey Mouse is wearing white kid gloves?
Yes.
I mean, this is Disney.
Sonic wears white kid gloves?
Yes, white kid gloves. Now,
Fucking racist.
yeah, you could.
I mean, it is Disney.
and then you wear the
let's be
monocle
honest.
with you're just fancy as well as touching your face. Oh yes, quite.
Oh yeah,
Just don't
and
go to any press conferences.
another bit of advice that has been circulating is shave your beard.
Off the table.
Not gonna happen.
Dan's like, I will die.
I've been through that once. I'm not going through that again.
I would shave my beard if there were like bodies piled up in the street, and they said that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
But
Big difference.
As of
Sure.
right now, I'm fine where it's at.
Yeah.
I like my beard. Tyler, grow a beard.
I'm trying so hard.
Just flex.
It would be fucking hilarious if like we
By
get
the time-
to a point that there's bodies in the street and he's finally able to grow a full
guys,
beard.
look!
And they're like, you need to shave your beard. This is now a government mandate.
Get
You have to
tased in the
shave
middle
your
of the
beard."
street and have your beard shorn off
You
of
just
you.
see Tyler go, no!
And then he's tackled by guys in hazmat suits with a pair of clippers.
No, it's alternative. It's the close-up shot of him staring solemnly off into space.
All around
His nostrils flare, and you see a pistol come from off screen. And then the screen blacks out, and you hear a gunshot.
I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad.
Roll
I'm
credits.
going to hair shoot myself.
Knowing my luck, this is exactly what's going to fucking happen. Not
Yeah.
the me killing myself thing.
Yeah.
You never know.
I know we don't acknowledge chat when we're doing the podcast, but did you notice that? Yeah, that strong arm, that
always.
flex, just popped in for a flex.
Always.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
Thanks, Chad, for the flex.
Chad Valier. That's just, it sounds like an action star.
It does.
Chad Valier is.
Chad
Three
Valier.
Fast, Three Furious.
Chad Valier was literally his Pathfinder character. He's Chad Valier the Cavalier.
So you're telling me that he doesn't take things seriously?
No. I mean, actually, his character was really depressing a lot of the time.
Chad Valier. He's a cavalier.
And guess what his horse was named? Brad Valier.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Also,
Oh,
he's
man.
dead now. He died.
Oh.
Yeah. He died a spiritual death.
Brad Valier did or Chad Valier did?
The campaign started with Brad Valier being dead because Chad Valier's rival killed Brad Valier and turned him into animal glue in a single hoof and mailed him back to him.
That monster.
Yeah, that sounds pretty boilerplate.
It was great. And then
I mean, look, if you're going to give your characters motivation.
it was such a wild story. Eventually, Brad Valier was resurrected, and then he was bestowed with an intelligence score of 18, which was vastly higher than Chad's. And
His horse is smarter than him.
by a lot. And Brad Valier wound up performing education in an entire nation under a pen name. And then he betrayed Chad Valier. And then Chad Valier died a spiritual death because there was universal overlap. And the Chad Valier that we knew was erased by a different Chad Valier. He's gone forever.
I'm not sure if I like that better or wrestling fire.
Oh my God, we
Yeah.
do have to talk about that.
Okay.
We've been playing World of Darkness. Tyler, myself, and with Dan DMing, and then his brother and my roommate Zeke. And it's been a very interesting campaign thus far because we're playing as a bunch of werewolves. And so in 1980s Cuba. And for anyone that hasn't played World of Darkness, I don't know, could you sum it up in like a couple of sentences?
Supernatural things are real, but they're all like really turned around. Like they get spun around on their heads. Everything is way different than you expect it to be. And you can either lap them all into one world or you can play the books individually.
And it's a D10 system.
Yes, all D10s.
But that being said,
And there are a lot of different.
like creatures.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You can either play them all in one world or you can use the books as individual modules.
And
So
we are doing
in this one, it's just werewolves.
We're doing the werewolf thing, and each one of our characters is very colorful. Almost a shitpost.
Oh, did you dye your fur?
No,
No.
because I would have other werewolves show up and beat them to death if they did that.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Except here's the thing that
What do
actually
you
is,
have against
that
dyed
is-
hair?
that actually is a thing people do, like in the books.
They dye their fur.
There's a specific form it's supposed to be like decorating your tank, pretty much. Like, that's all. It is.
I'm gonna use peroxide to make my werewolf look like Billy Idol.
It's the 80s.
I know.
Oh, please.
But my character is a disgraced professional wrestler named Chainsaw Jackson. And
Chainsaw Jackson.
Chainsaw Jackson. I don't even remember what his actual first name was.
I'd like to, before we tell this story, I'm going to postulate. I try to keep things pretty serious for the most part, but every now and then I give them some jokes, and this is one of those times.
So we're in a situation in that we're trying to get out of. I'm not going to go into the details because we'll be here too long for that. But we're in a dreamlike situation, and so we're all trying to get our characters to feel happy, to dispel whatever evil or other worldly magic that's surrounding us in this terrible environment. And so I come up with an idea about what my character would easily be happy doing. And it was a throwaway joke from the beginning of the campaign.
One of his stated intents at the start was, I want to wrestle Fidel Castro.
Yep.
And so last week I wrestled fantasy Fidel Castro, and it was fucking amazing.
Dan couldn't do a voice.
Yeah, so, and since I didn't even know how Fidel Castro sounds, I don't even know if I've ever heard a recording of him speak.
Sure.
So, because he believed that dairy was the key to the People's Revolution, he would like eat ice cream and chug milk all the time. every time he opened his mouth, he would just vomit milk everywhere. And like he walked in the door with an ice cream cone in one hand, and he used it as a weapon to stab Chainsaw.
and so I stabbed him right back in the face with it and pantsed him.
And he has a fucking udder on his chest.
Singular udder.
Just one udder.
Just imagine a dick, really.
Like this was hard for me to do. That whole scene was hard for me to speak out because I don't like getting that flippant for the most part.
Yeah.
It was a fight to the
amazing.
death.
I had to give the people what they wanted.
It was a fight to the death, and I think I may be the first person in role-playing game history to ever have wrestled Fidel Castro to death.
I doubt it, but this specific variant of Fidel Castro certainly.
Wrestling, specifically wrestling Fidel Castro. to
Fighting
death.
Fidel
It
Castro.
was a full-on
but
wrestling match, and I had Fidel Castro and Chainsaw compete for the favor of the crowd, which was the other players. And
I lost.
specifically Tyler's character rooted for Fidel Castro.
I created a banner that said "Go Fidel."
And after he was pantsed, he took the banner from his fan and wore it as like a loincloth.
It's a very serious game.
Very,
Yep, honestly.
Very serious game.
The character building is what I love most.
We keep this very, very, very seriously.
For the most part, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Just occasionally, you have to. wrestle
This
Fidel
this
Castro.
was a situation in which it worked.
Yeah.
It worked because it's magic. It's weird magic.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, and I'm happy to have gone through that with you guys.
So we have gotten to the end of the podcast.
Sad and so.
RIP podcast.
Rip Tyler.
In half.
Which means it's time for an Ask Reddit question.
Yes, make
Yay,
it
an Ask
spicy.
Reddit. Ask Reddit question.
Find a weird or possibly dirty question to ask us.
Do you ever wish that after you died, you got to see your total stats page? Like in a video game, which one of your personal stats would you want to know the most?
Well, killing is out.
Yeah, my KD ratio is pretty shit.
I don't know, like I'm a vain man. How many people remember me after my death?
Ooh, that's a good one.
But if we're going by like the different levels of death rules, you're not technically dead if people remember you.
Yes, you have to die an informational death too.
Oh, okay. So this is assuming that I've also died an informational death.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, how many sandwiches I ate? How many sandwiches I ate?
How many pounds of food I ate throughout my entire lifetime?
How many squares of toilet paper have you used?
Hours spent drunk.
I was specifically going to say I want a line graph of a relative BAC level that I can just look over, and I want to just watch it. Like I want to see me hit like 19 to 20 and just watch it.
Spike.
I would love to see a graph with that put like close, like people who I consider close or did consider close
like
throughout my life.
Like a scatter plot.
Specifically, I want to see like a number of times we were in close proximity before becoming friends.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, that's an interesting one for sure. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Total amount of money spent on alcohol would be a good one for me too.
Yeah.
Oh! How many times I bent down to tie my shoes?
Very specific.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Specifically bent down, so not like sat down.
No, yeah. Like, for example, today when I went on my walk in the park, I had to bend down to tie a shoe.
Okay.
A list of the top 10 heaviest shits that I have taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many let's get a spreadsheet. How many times did I get someone almost pregnant?
Now, how do you quantify almost pregnant? Like pregnancy scares? Or?
Yeah, like for example, if I slept with a stranger and didn't have their information, because I've done that. Like, you know, or some kind of statistic involving like risky behavior in general. I want to know
The number of times I almost died.
how many times I've eaten expired food.
Oh, yeah.
Number of times I almost did. That'd be weird. Like, that number's just like way bigger than you expect.
Well, also,
I imagine for everybody it would be because
Yeah.
you don't notice
Yeah.
all the times you almost die.
Right.
yeah, and even then you'd have to quantify that into some specific parameters too. Like, for example, like
If you had taken one extra breath, you would have died here.
right, or if this flight had not been delayed, I
Yeah.
would have died in the air or something like that. Yeah, okay, yeah, I like that.
It'd be kind of cool if you had the list of when those happen too, not just number. Like
No, I
Yeah,
don't want
oh,
a
yeah.
list. I want video clips.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want video clips.
like an Overwatch.
I want video clips of the
Kill
what if
cam kind of
scenario
thing.
of just like, well, my plane was on time, you know, in this particular instance, and you just watch it explode. You watch it explode, and in your body, you just fly out.
That's how you would have died. It shows the what if you didn't
Yeah,
get there.
right, or like, you know, oh
That
no,
hot dog that you ate and accidentally choke on it.
I pushed that elevator button, oh, you know, one extra time, and now it just falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I like this question.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is a good.
It could go on for much, much longer. However, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you, everyone, for watching and or listening. We'll see you next week.
Amount of shit posts made.
Bye.
Fuck bucks.
Fuck bucks.
Flood bugs.
Is this your card? Subscribe if it is.